Prologue, The Gross Ritter. Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky 3rd. Same day, afternoon. In the skies of Midwestern Zemuria, roughly 500 selj from Liberal. Is that who I think it is? The Gretna. Yeah, that's who I think it is. I still love this little tune.
Aw, they've gone out of sight now. I wonder if they're busy migrating. It looks like they can't keep up with the ship, though. Guess not every bird can be as fast as Sieg. But they were just the cutest.
Well, look who it is. I kinda guess.
I know you.
It really is you. Long time no see, Dorothy. I sure wasn't expecting to run into you here. Funny coincidence, huh?
It really is. It's good to see you again, too. Father...
You don't remember my name, do you?
Don't be silly, of course I do. It's, Oh, I remember. It's Onion Graham.
But of course, how lucky am I to have been named after such a multi-purpose plant? That's not even a name, Dorothy. You really did forget, didn't you? And yet you somehow managed to remember my last name like it was nothing.
I was just being silly. A couple of days ago, I had this amazing onion hot pot over in the eastern quarter in Calvard, so I've still got onions on the brain. I can't believe a hot pot with just onions in it could taste that good, but I swear it did. It was so comforting and sweet. So that's how I ended up saying onion instead of your name.
Well, whatever. So if you insist you haven't forgotten, what is my name then?
I do insist. I never forget. It's lovely to see you again, Jasmine Graham.
But of course, how lucky am I to have been named after such a fragrant plant? That might be an actual name this time, but it's a woman's name. Honestly, Kevin's one of the easier names to remember.
Oh, I see. So you're here to carry out a follow-up investigation on all that trouble that happened earlier in the year.
That's about the gist, yeah. Come to think of it, how'd you end up on an international liner like this? You said you were going to, you were in the Eastern Quarter, right? Were you there to write about it for the Liberal News?
Yep. Now he'll actually let me go on my own this time, too.
Wow, that was daring of him. I'm not sure I'd want to let you handle traveling abroad for a report alone. Then again, it's only by taking on positions of responsibility that people can properly grow.
Oh, I'm doing plenty of that. I mean, I wasn't sure that what I'd do when I ended up in Calvard instead of Bose Market, but I managed just fine.
Wait a second. Nell told you to go to Bose, not Calvard?
He sure did. But then I got on the airship, fell asleep, and before I knew it, I was chilling out in Calvard's capital. Weird, huh?
It sounds like you were on the wrong airship to me. Let my brain catch up. So you were in the Republic for literally days when you weren't even supposed to be there at all? Did you even have any money to manage, or Adios help us, a passport?
Well, fortunately, there was someone from the Liberalian embassy at the airport who could issue me a temporary passport, so it was okay. And then tons of people were really nice to me and helped while I was there. So I had all the dough a little girl could ask for.
Girl, I don't know where I got little from. I don't even know where to start. Now I must be worried sick about you, huh?
You think? He didn't sound so hot when I called yesterday to say I'd be coming back to the office today. I keep telling him that all that smoking is bad for him, but he never listens.
I don't think you could pin the crime on tobacco this time, Missy. I'd still try.
Thank you all for taking this journey aboard the Gretna today. We will be arriving at our terminal, Grancel City, in roughly 30 minutes. We ask that you take this chance to check that you have all your belongings with you and to return to your seats before we begin landing. Until then, please enjoy the remainder of your flight.
Ooh, sounds like we're almost there. I'm gonna have a walk around the ship to kill some time of the last half hour. How about you?
I'm not sure. I suppose I might as well go and snap some more photos. It's not often I get to take an international liner like this.
Sounds like a plan. See you later, then.
Later.
And there she goes. Now we have control again. Alright, sorry about that. My sister can be unbelievably stubborn sometimes. How am I supposed to enjoy sightseeing when she's being like this?
No, I'm not budging on this. We are going to the Herb Oil Villa after Grancel Castle, and that is final. I can't believe you're actually considering just going around fishing, of all things. Did you hear the announcement, sir? If not, we will be arriving in Grancel City. So it might be wise to check you have all of your belongings on your person while you still have time to look around, look for anything that is missing.
I'm really not good with heights. I mean, it's not a phobia level or anything. I'm just really not very good with them. Dude, I know how you feel, but for me it is more of a phobia. Ooh, that was one amazing business discussion. I never thought I'd see the day where Mirana wouldn't have the upper hand in one, but it just happened. The world is full of surprises.
That bargainer really knew how to put up a good fight for someone so young. Still, I've got an excellent information dealer working for me too. So the next time we do business, it's going to be a 6-4 deal in my favor. No, scratch that. 7-3.
So greedy. I used to be a sailor back in the day, but now I always use airships to get around. They're way faster than boats for one thing, and unlike orbital buses, you don't end up with a sore ass after a long journey either. They got buses?
Mommy, can I go have a look outside? Can I? No, you can't. Please, sit down like a good girl. We're almost there now anyway, so just be quiet.
Oh, a little harsh on the child. Yes, I'm finally almost to Liberal. Why did I come, you ask? Because it's the last spot the ancient dragon was sighted. There's no information on where and when after it showed up here, so if I want to try and pursue it, this is the best place for me to come. As soon as we land, I need to go and talk to Lyndon to see if he knows anything. I'm off to see my grandchild in Grancel. We haven't seen each other in 3 years now. I've been really worried, what with all that trouble that's been happening in Liberal.
The cleaning staff for the airship really do a splendid job, don't they? They're a fine role model for the rest of the service industry.
Don't get yourself too worked up now, man. You'll just end up screwing up even more like usual. What? Get that you want to be an orbital engineer and all, but I think you could do with taking things a bit easier. Getting yourself stressed out and worked up will only screw yourself up. Anyway, first thing is stopping by the Central Factory in Zeiss. There's no better place to learn about cutting-edge orbital tech than there. I'm really gonna have to make the most of it, really. You do that. Follow your dream.
I don't even want to be here right now. Why do I even have to go out of my way to see him anyway? It's not fair.
Uh-oh. Problems. Alright, the orbital pressure looks perfectly normal. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you not to come down here, sir. Why do you want to know what I wanted to be as a child to begin with? That's not really something you normally tell complete strangers with cameras in their hands, you know?
I'm on to you, mister. You can't distract me. This is a serious news report here, so please answer my questions.
She sure is making good use of those reporters' privileges. We're approaching the Bagan Range. Be careful of potential air turbulence in the area. I know. Been doing this route for 3 years now. I know what I'm doing, man. But it's always good to be careful. We're finally back home in Liberal. Which means it's time to start thinking of getting a house for ourselves. What kind of house would you like?
The two of us have spent the past half a year traveling all around the continent. I couldn't have wished for a better honeymoon. I'm so glad I chose to spend my life with...
My wife went back to her family's home. I mean, I'm sure I'm as aware as anyone that I've been so busy with work lately that I haven't been able to spend any time with her, but... if I'd known it was going to come to this, I would have sat down and talked to her about it a long time ago. Alright. Ding dong. There we go.
This is a passenger announcement. We'll soon be arriving in Grancel City with the terminus of this liner. We suggest that all passengers return to their seats as soon as possible, as the airships may be unsteady during landing.
Grancel! It has been so long.
Is that the Arcel?
Yeah, at the very least, it looks like the Arcel. Dorothy actually got back home.
It's so lovely to be back here again. The Republic was a wonderful place too, but you can't beat the air here in Liberal.
You wouldn't believe all that stuff happened half a year ago looking at Grancel now either. It's all completely back to normal. The people here sure are strong for what's usually such a peaceful country.
Well, it's a country ruled by a queen. Everyone knows women are tough in the face of adversity.
I'm not sure whether you're a perfect example of that or the opposite. You're right about the air here, though. It is nice. Nostalgic, almost. Makes me feel a little homesick.
Your home's in Arteria, right? The place with all the really big churches and stuff?
Nah, I'm not actually from Arteria. Not many people are. It's actually pretty darn small, like smaller than most states around the continent. It's where the high seat of the Septian Church is, so lots of pilgrims and clergymen gather there, but few are actually born there.
Oh, really? Huh. So where are you from then?
Dorothy!
Oh, Niall. I'm home. Did you miss me?
Did I miss you? Of course I missed you. What in Idiot's name have you been doing? I sent you to Bose. How did you end up in Calvard? You were definitely on the westbound liner. I'm sure of it.
I really don't know. Oh, wait. I might actually know.
Go on then. Spit it out.
I bet I'm a sleepwalker. After I got on the right airship, I fell asleep and then sleptwalked onto the wrong one. To think that all of this could have turned out to be a part of some elaborate murder plot. Wowee! All of a sudden I feel like I've walked right into a mystery novel.
Sleepwalkers don't change airships, you idiot. I'm all out of breath now.
Are you alright? I really do think you should cut down on your smoking. You're not as young as you used to be, you know. Oh right, your 30th birthday was last Friday too, wasn't it? Happy birthday! I bought a cake over in Calvard and had a big celebration for it too.
How is it that you can remember useless crap like that and not the things that actually matter? I bet you were just looking for an excuse to eat cake all by yourself, weren't you?
You should have seen it, Niall. It was made with Eastern matcha, so it was unlike any cake I had ever seen. That perfect blend of sweetness and bitterness was just sublime. I took lots and lots of cute pictures of it, so I'll show you them later.
You brought me pictures of a cake? At least bring me back a souvenir. Man, they always felt like they could go into a business as a comedy duo and actually make money off it, but they're even more of a crack-up now. Wait a sec. Nice to see you again, Niall. You're looking the same old, though maybe you're not so happy about that. What are you doing here? Please tell me that she didn't end up going to Arteria and causing trouble there too. Your wish is my command. We just ran into one another on that airship by total coincidence, that's all. Oh, good. You had me worried there for a minute. I was scared stiff she'd gone and smashed some super expensive stained glass windows in the cathedral there, or who knows what. I'm so sorry for what you have to put up with.
Sure.
I don't know how to pronounce that well.
You're too much of a worrywart.
Whose fault do you think that is? Still, it's good to see you again, Father. What brings you to Liberal? Something else happen here? Oh, just a bit of work-related business I've got to take care of. It's not part of a major investigation, so don't go getting your hopes up. Nothing of interest's gonna happen. I'll be the judge of that. Anyway, so where are you staying for the time being? Grancel Cathedral? I'll have to drop by and say hi sometime when I get the chance. Go for it. In the meantime, I'm dragging your butt right back to the office, Dorothy. You're gonna tell us all about what the hell you were doing these past 2 weeks.
You betcha. I snapped photos of every meal I had while I was over in Calvard, so I'm sure if we develop them, I'll be able to remember everything.
I'm not talking about your gourmet report. I worry about Niall. Whew. Seeing those two together really makes it sink in that I'm back here. Thinking about it, I wonder how all the others here are doing. I know Estelle and Joshua are abroad at the moment, but I've got no idea what the others are up to. Who is it? Hey, it's Sid. Lieutenant Colonel Sid? It's good to see you again. I'm pleased to see that you've been keeping well since we last met at the banquet.
The same to you, sir. I've got to say, I wasn't expecting you to be the army representative who came to meet me, though. I figured it'd be Julia.
It may have been, but she's currently out on another mission, so unfortunately you'll have to make do with me. I didn't have anything better to do, so I came in her place.
There's no need to be so modest. A little bird told me that you're going to be promoted to full-on colonel soon, aren't you?
It shouldn't be, I shouldn't be surprised that your people have such a good information network, but I still am. Still, I'm afraid I still feel the position is too much responsibility for me as I am. Brigadier General Bright has plenty of work left in him too. I wouldn't want to take any of it from him.
Poor Cassius is still getting work to the bone, huh? Anyway, getting down to business. It's in Grancel Cathedral, right?
That's correct. It's being kept underneath it, to be more specific, although I imagine you're already aware of that much. I hear laymen like myself can't even enter it without the knight's permission.
Pretty much. It's a special place, you see. I'll fill you in on the details when we get there.
Alright then. Well, we may as well head there right away. There's someone I want you to meet in the cathedral.
Huh? Who?
Let's just say someone who's been assisting with the case. They'll be apprising you of the details on what you're dealing with here. Okay. And yes, it's Grancel. There's where Weissman had a talk with Joshua. Here's the castle where we saved it twice. Hey, they repaired the door. Here's the main road. I remember when we first came here, it was a little overwhelming, to be honest. Oh man, but I'm betting I'm in for a treat, huh? Here's the Western District. This is where Nile works, and here's the church. Oh, there you are. Hello.
It's a lady friend. It's good to see you again, Archbishop. You look very well. Huh, and you must be... I wasn't expecting you to be quite this young. How old are you?
22, but... Wow, Kevin's 22? Man, he's young.
That's a lot younger than I expected. Are the Grossritter really so short-staffed that they're handing out their most important posts to kids? You can't blame me for assuming the Fifth Dominion would look like more of a veteran, can you? Your surprise is written all over your face. Someone in your position should have a much better poker face than that. Maybe you need to redo your training from scratch. Or are you just acting, I wonder? How do you?
Professor Russell, please. He isn't here for you to try and pick a fight with him. Please try and be a little less deliberately provocative. What?
Hell no. He's here to steal the thing we went through so much effort to bring up, and you want me to play nice? And kindly don't call me that ever again. I don't want to be addressed in the same way as that old coot.
Of course, ma'am. So, how are they going to address you then, Professor Russell? So I'm guessing you're Tita's mom? You've got an attitude. That much is obvious.
Wait, Russell? Then are you... I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Erika Russell. I'm sure it's not a name you're going to be forgetting anytime soon.
Man, these walls are giant.
Still, I sure didn't expect to run into little Tita's mother here. I'd heard you and your husband were both living abroad. What brought you back? What do you think? After all that went down here, there was no way I was staying out of the country any longer than I had to. Though with how remote the region we were in is, it was all over by the time word reached us. Had we found out sooner, I sure wouldn't have let that maniac pull half the crap he did. Doesn't sound like you're too happy with the professor nowadays, huh? Talk about an understatement. That whack job actually took my little girl into the floating city with him. I get that he's soft towards her, but that's no excuse for exposing her to danger. That's fair. And as if that isn't bad enough, he let that red-headed scumbag get near her too. That utter cretin isn't fit to be within 50 arg of my darling Tita. Never mind actually getting friendly with her. So, you don't like a gay, huh? Don't you ever speak that filthy name in front of me ever again. Oh, when I'm finished with him, he'll wish he'd never been born. He might have survived that last onslaught, but we'll have to see. We'll see how he fares against an even more powerful unit, won't we? I get the feeling this is... I do apologize for that. I get the feeling this is a matter we're better off not prying into. I thought the same, so I don't know any more about it than you do. Incidentally, the Professor Russell you're more familiar with is currently vacationing abroad. As such, she has been assisting us with this case in his place. Oh, I see. Are you two listening to me? Of course, sorry. Well, whatever. This staircase sure is long, though. How much farther do we have to go? Not much, as far as I know. Yep, there we go. Still looks like it's continuing. It's a wall. A dead end? I sure hope you've got a good explanation for this. I do. This isn't a dead end, but to go any further, I'm going to need you to undertake a ritual of sorts for me. Well, this certainly took a turn for the strange. Is this an example of the church's famous thaumaturgy? Something like that, yes. Specifically, I would like you to undertake a form of suggestion. I'm not sure I follow. You want us to promise not to tell anyone what we see here, right? That's a little extreme, so no. The Colonel is obviously going to need to report what happened here to his superiors, for one thing. All I want you to promise is that you won't tell anyone who you aren't certain you can trust. I don't need you to say it, I just need you to think and believe it. Weird, but alright. If that's all you want us to do, so be it. I feel the same way. Should we deliberately repeat it in our minds then? You don't even need to do that. It should just come completely naturally to you. Alright, here goes. In the name of she who dwells above, do I hold this concentrated septium. Space's golden glow, consciousness's silver glow. By your opposing natures, reveal to them the path that leads to your sacrament. What? How did that door appear? Thank you both for your assistance. I can see that you were true to your word. Ah, I see. So if we had just said it but not really meant it, we wouldn't be able to see anything, right?
And yet I can hardly believe what happened. I imagine it would be uncouth of me to ask how all this works.
Yeah, I'd really rather you didn't.
Anyway, come on in. So does that mean he can naturally see the door? Like he doesn't have to undergo the ritual, he just, opens the way? And what would it look like? Does it just look like nothing happens and he just walks through the wall?
Wow.
Unbelievable. All these years and I had no idea such a place lay hidden beneath Grancel Cathedral.
Well, it's not exactly something we publicize. It was built in accordance with the agreements between the church and the royal family. It has but one purpose: to suppress the power of ancient artifacts and keep their influence in check. I see.
Its importance to you Grossritter is quite clear then. I'd assume there are similar ones in places other than Liberal too.
Well, I won't deny it. Anyway, we can call this place a primal ground. Now, there's a deep name if I ever heard one. Is the original ground the others are based on in Arteria? I'll take that as a yes.
Oh, I'm not confirming anything. I was just thinking about how much you take after the other Professor Russells all.
Ugh, I'll thank you not to associate me with him. He might trump me a little in the theoretical side of things, but when it comes to the practical side of orbital science, I could beat him in my sleep. And I was the one who designed the fundamental system for the of the Capel and the Arcel,
Really? Nice.
But I think we're getting off topic here.
This is the object in question, right? That's correct. It was pulled up 3 days ago from the area where the Liberarch sank, and we believe it to be an artifact. Okay, I was wondering, it's like, why are you asking them? I'm guessing they found it, then turned it into the church, and then the church put it down here, and now we're going to look at it. Am I getting that right? Where the Liberarch sank. Damn, sun's going down already, huh? If this spot turns out to be a bust, we're probably going to have to call it quits for today. We can only hope. Professor Russell is certain that this is the area where we should be looking. Yep, and if she says it's here, then it's here. Unfortunately, as you know, Valeria Lake's about as deep as a lake can get. Depending on how small the thing we're looking for is, actually finding it could still be a real task and a half. It is likely to be small, though. The orbital reading suggested we're dealing with quite a large object, I believe.
Oh, I wouldn't judge its size based off those.
Professor. Hey there, kiddo. Finished getting us a new estimated location?
Just about. It'd be real swell if you can knocked off with a kiddo, though. I'm not sure it's the most appropriate way to address a married woman, much less one who's already popped out a child.
Sorry, but old habits die hard, Hard to make the switch when I've been calling you that since you were about knee-high.
Well, I'll let you off this time.
She can be kind of sweet.
Back to work. Can you ask your subordinates to stand down for the time being, Colonel?
Is this the spot then? Were you able to calculate exactly where the object is?
Give or take an arg, yes. Judging by the readings, what we're trying to pull up isn't all that big either. Probably around 50 reg, maybe even less.
You serious? Thought we'd be dealing with a real monster, not something the size of Antoine. Still, if it does turn out to be an artifact, this could get problematic.
Unfortunately, the church isn't going to want to let us keep it, that's for sure. Ugh, I really cannot stand them. No matter how hard you work to get your hands on something, the second it turns out to be an artifact, they swoop in like it's their goddess-given right to have it. It ticks me off.
Easy there. We who don't know for sure that this is even an artifact yet. Regardless, I'll pass on the message to my subordinates right away. I'll leave the rest to you, Gustav. You got it. Let's see what we're dealing with, yeah? Oh, goody, it's the crane game.
Okay, that's the spot. Go on ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Beginning the salvage operation.
God, that sound just fills me with dread.
Does the salvage crane sound like it's in poor condition to you?
Oh, that's not really what I meant. I just can't bring myself to like artifacts, you see. We can't explain how they have the power they do, but they have it, and it's not something we can ignore either. As a researcher, I can barely imagine anything more frustrating. Even when we can't help but be captivated by them, we're all aware that any attempt to solve their mystery is pointless.
I see. When you put it that way, I can understand to a degree how you must feel. Half a year has passed since all the chaos came to an end, and on the surface we're back to normal. But even now, we still don't know what truly happened here or what it signified.
Yeah. Not that I was here to see it all happen, of course.
The crane's arm reached the bottom of the lake. I'm gonna attempt to grip the object. Swing and a miss. Moving 30 arc to the right.
Huh. There we go.
Yep, we've got it. Want me to pull it up?
Please do.
The moment of truth, huh? Here we go.
Oh, look at it. It's shiny. What?
Oh my.
I don't know what it is. Someone care to explain? I see. Still looking at it. Correct. There were orbital readings coming from the artifact when we found it, but not anymore. And I'm sure I don't need to spell out the significance of that, do I? No, it's plain as day why you decided to stay and wait for me now. If an artifact has lost its power, it's exempt from the traditional agreements governing them and doesn't need to be given to the church. That it? You already understand me so well. We can cut right to the chase then.
The orbital readings disappeared just before we handed the artifact over to the cathedral, as it so happens. It's currently being looked after here, but the formal procedures to transfer ownership have yet to be completed, making its legal owner unclear. So in your expert opinion, what should be done here? This is a tricky one. I'm assuming Liberal wants to assert ownership of it in this scenario, right? If anything, it's the professor here who wants to do that. I'm merely here accompanying her as a representative of the Royal Army. The only reason it's not lying at the bottom of Valeria Lake right now is because of Zeiss Central Factory's salvage efforts. I'd say we have every right to keep it, personally. From what I've heard, it's completely impossible to analyze an artifact that's no longer active. I don't see how it'd be of any use to your research as things stand now. But you're sure you want it that badly?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about an object found at the site of where a massive flying city used to be. I might not have seen it happen, but it sounds like everything we thought we knew about the world was more or less proven wrong. You know, by the truth that you people in the church have kept hidden for the past, 1,000 years. As for that Ouroboros group, they don't make much more sense than you guys. The more I hear about their advances in technology, the less I can work out how it's even possible. I don't know what the truth is or what's really happening here in this land, but I cannot stand by and feign disinterest in knowing the answers anymore, and I'm far from alone. So long as there's the slightest chance that artifact could shed light on all of what I want to know, I want it.
I think you've made your point, Professor. It's not as though interrogating him will achieve anything.
True enough. Well, you've heard what I've got to say. It's up to you now to tell us what you're going to do. Will you hand over the lump of metal, or won't you?
Well...
That brief hesitation was all it took to spawn a great evil.
Oh, hello.
Who is she?
No way.
It crawled through the fields, ran through the hills, and spread disaster to the skies above. An excerpt from the Book of Ezra, verse 2, Disaster Unleashed. I apologize for the delay in coming, Father Graham. My name is Reese Argent, and I am a squire of the Grosritter. I look forward to working under you. I didn't think we'd end up having more company. Wait a second. Is something the matter? So that's how they think they can get me, is it? But they can't just bribe me so easily. I'm better than that. Maybe I underestimated the Grosritter. They think they can break my will to fight by sending a girl like you my way, do they? But I'm not going down so easily because I've got a secret weapon of my own. Behold, the most powerful force in the universe.
Isn't that... That's Tita, isn't it?
How cute. Isn't she? I bet you would just, you want to just jump into this photo and squeeze her like a stuffed toy right now, don't you? I should have known a cutie patootie.
Wow, really?
Like you would be able to be able to appreciate the same qualities in others. Anyway, that's why no matter how freaking adorable you may have happened to be, you can't take me down because I've got a natural immunity. I beg your pardon, but I'm afraid I'm not really following. You keep saying that someone is cute, but are you referring to me? Who else would I be talking about? You've got such an aura of maturity about you, and yet your features still have that irresponsible trace of innocence to them. And when they throw you into a sister's habit of to compliment it, all like a little cherry on top, that's the most frightening habit I've ever seen. If I didn't have my protective field, I'd be in real danger here. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm just saying. Might I inquire as to the identities of the people with you, Father Graham?
Sure. The lady is Professor Erika Russell of Zai Central Factory, while the gentleman is Lieutenant Colonel Sid of the Royal Army. Suddenly, though, Father Graham, really?
So you're the people who initially discovered the artifact, then. Thank you for your cooperation in our work. We will take over looking after it from here on out. That will be all. Wait
What? Hold on a minute. We hadn't finished deciding what to do with it yet.
Perhaps not, but my intention was to save you the time and effort required to do so by making the correct judgment myself. Whether it has lost power or not, that is no ordinary artifact. It is potentially related to one of the Septarians. I'm surprised that you even humor the option of letting an outsider take custody of it.
I mean...
Well, you sure know how to pick a fight. Go on then, what legal basis do you have for taking it from us? The agreements with the church quite clearly say that an artifact that has lost their power are exempt from the usual rules. I have no legal basis, but you have no more of one for keeping it. If we are following the agreements to the letter, no one is allowed to assert authority of inactive artifacts. It belongs to neither you nor me. It's simply an abandoned object with no ownership whatsoever. What? So all you got is, I don't need a reason, it's mine and that's final? To put it bluntly, yes. Well, if that's how you want to play it. What's your take on this, Kevin Graham? Well, by all means.
Me? I thought I'd been kicked out of this conversation. But, well, I can't say I don't want to take it back to Arteria with me. But after all the help Liberal's given us, I'd feel kind of bad just snatching it from them without even giving them a valid reason. Both arguments have a degree of merit, but neither is clearly more correct. I'm not quite sure how you'll solve this one. You do know that you're smack dab in the middle of this too, right? Whoa.
My.
What is it?
Why do you both look so surprised?
What do you mean by why?
Did you two not hear that? Hear what? Wait
It's active. It's a Rubik's Cube. Wow.
Oh, no way. That thing wasn't giving off any orbital readings at all anymore. Zero. Zip. Why is it suddenly active again? I believe that settles our dispute.
It sure does. So the real artifact was inside, huh? I've never seen one quite like this. It looks like a box of some kind, or a cube, maybe? Marvel, the Rubik's Cube! I'd like to thank you two for your cooperation in recovery of this artifact. In accordance with the pact of the church, I, Kevin Graham, will be assuming custody of it from here on out. You and all who aided you have the Septian Church's deepest appreciation. Man,